All right, now let's shift gears and talk about peace and elections with just 14 days. Actually, there's 2 weeks to go. And after having that hard and topic in terms of elections, DCI and IEBC, now let's talk about peace. Because without peace, we can never have it. We all know what happened in 2007, all the way back to 1992. It followed us sometimes in 2017, but it was managed. But this time around, all the faith-based organizations, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, the police, and even you as a citizen, we all have that responsibility to make sure that we have got a peaceful election. And I've got two gentlemen who are able to help me get that discussion right on the way. I have got Reverend Dr. Josphat Ngumba, who is a pastor of Omega Pentecostal Church, Kasarani, and an overseer of Nairobi region. He is also a member of the National Prayer Committee. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
As well as Bishop Jesse Ireri James, who is the presiding bishop of Gospel Revival Wave Church and chairman, National Prayer Committee. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
This comes at a time where, as a nation, we are at the tipping point of an election, quite precisely. I don't know what is your feeling to start with. Let me start with you, Chairman. What is your general feeling out there?
The general feeling is that the politicians are doing their work.
Yes.
And also, the Kenyans are doing their work. Mm. And the feeling is things will be all right. There will be peace in this nation when we are coming to the election 2022. Yes. We believe that as you look at things, this far we have come well. This far the campaigns have gone well. This far things are not turning south. A few things are trying to come up here and there, but you see people have consistently continued just to campaign, and people have followed the campaigns peacefully.
Yes.
We have had very little disturbances, and so we are trusting God that we shall go to the end with this kind of a peace. Yes.
What about you?
Thank you so much for having us here.
Karibu.
And we thank God. Now, in the past, we have had cases of people fearing, and they feel like it's not safe. But as my colleague is saying, this time we want to assure people, we as church leaders, that we are for peace. And as much as people feel they are not comfortable, we are there for them to tell them that it will be a peaceful election, an election that is good, and we are assuring them. So our work is to assure people peace will prevail in this nation. And when peace prevails in this nation, of course, people will be comfortable. They will be doing their things well. And election is one time, we normally say it's a one-time event. It will come and go,
yes,
but we'll stay there. So our work as church leaders is to tell people we have a peaceful election.
Chairman, you must be having a lot of work, so to speak, because as a chairman of the National Prayer Committee, which is conducted every year, I would imagine how your table is always full, more so at this particular point, because all eyes are on the religious leaders across board to make sure that we have got, that's a stability in terms of during this time of an election. What does it take as a church to make sure that you work hand in hand with the police, you work hand in hand with the general public, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, and all those other agencies, including the church faith-based organizations, to ensure that we have that peaceful electoral environment?
Basically, what we have done as a church, we have distributed ourselves in most of the areas. One, you find if there's a commission of cohesion, we have some of us who are there working with the cohesion team.
Yes.
If it is in the areas of IBC, when there are things that are going on there, you'll find part of us are there.
You have representation.
People who are there, speaking to these people. If it is the area of politicians, we are also in all political parties, kind of, in most of the political leaders. And especially the people who are on the top there. We have our own people who are still with them. Like in this year, we organize such that different organizations are working directly and even giving these leaders and these people in the political arena to sign even to tell Kenyans we shall be peaceful. So we have distributed ourselves. Then we have the wing of prayers, whereby there is also the people who are praying. So what we are trying to do to make sure that we are getting into a peaceful election is that distributing ourselves to talk to Kenyans, to talk to different leaders, to talk to different sectors, so that everybody is being taught peace, peace. Then the wing of prayer. The prayer now is pushing very hard to pray for the nation.
Yes. You know what, Reverend Dr. Because when you compare in 2002, 2007, 2013 and 2017, this time around everything seems to be quite normal. In such a time in 2002, the tension was so high in this country, but right now you walk around at 10 in the night, 11 in the night, everybody is going about their business. What would you attribute this to?
Well, we attribute that to God.
Right.
Because last time, you remember, we as church leaders, we were accused that we are doing nothing. And that was the notion that was there, moving there, that what are the church people doing? But this time, as my chairman is saying, we have decided to take it on ourselves.
Deliberately,
so that we will not be accused. And one of the things that we have done is serious prayers. Serious prayers. You know, prayer changes things. And we have gone, actually we have just finished what we call in our team, the Peace Prayer Caravan. Going round all the 47 counties, sensitizing people on the need of a peaceful election, on the need of an election that has no violence. And I can tell you, the response was great. People came in large numbers. I can assure you, there's nobody who wants fighting, and there's nobody who wants violence in this nation.
I don't think so.
I don't think people like that. It is only by the way that things come and happen. But I think we needed to sensitize our people and to tell them, now look, you are my brother, irrespective of where you come from, your tribe, what you are doing, we are one. And so I can tell you for a fact that when we moved, we put that message of peace, peace, because we as church leaders we should preach peace. Our God is a God of peace. And irrespective of where you come from, what you are doing, we are peaceful people. So when we went round, I can attribute one of the things that has helped us is those prayers. And as my chairman is saying, we went everywhere telling people to pray. And at least when you have a heart that is peaceful, even when you are doing things, I can assure you what you are saying is true. When we moved, people are doing their own things. People are just doing their own normal businesses. It's not like the last campaigns whereby you felt that there was tension.
Exactly.
I was telling my chairman last night in the place where I stay, people are doing campaign up to 11 midnight. And
perhaps you can say that as a nation we learned our lesson in the past.
Yes.
And we're not like to go back there, Chairman, right?
What is happening is that somebody told me from Sudan. He said in Sudan, southern Sudan, when you start war, people fight long. He said in Kenya, when you start war, people cannot fight long. Why? They are busy. So
that's a nice one.
He was saying in their place, people are doing nothing. So fighting is an occupation. At least you are busy fighting. They have nothing to lose. So he was saying, he was looking at here, he was telling us, look at these buildings. A Kenyan would imagine bringing this building down, and he can't think about it. So eventually he starts to sober up. And again, because they are busy, they cannot sustain a long war, because after 2-3 weeks, they realize that we have to go back to this, we have to go back to this, we have to go to... So basically what is happening is, the more the nation develops, the more the nation grows, the more people are becoming busy. The more people become busy, the more they think we can be doing our things instead of doing those other things. So that's part of it. And the other part of it, as Doctor has said, let me use 2007, because I was there in the front line of all these things. We as a church were totally divided. And we even argued and almost fought on who do you support, who do I support?
Right.
Today, what we have decided is support the one you want freely, without any condemnation, without any feeling, without any intimidation, without any demonizing. Do what you feel. But remember, we are one. As we are preaching God, we are preaching Jesus, we are preaching the kingdom, and again we are preaching peace. So we have given everybody. That other time we were demonizing one another, and so eventually there was no complete spiritual covering in the nation. We were divided. Today we are not divided, but we are not supporting one person. Do what you want freely, as the way you want it. Do it.
Chairman, where does peace start from?
It starts from the heart of men. When men know that you matter,
yes,
and I matter, your existence, my existence, your freedom, my freedom is allowed,
right,
and is accepted.
Yes.
And you are free to make your own choices, and you are free to do what you want to do. So I don't coerce you, because peace, I'm trying to coerce you to follow me.
Exactly.
I mean, fighting and violence is, I'm trying to coerce you to do something.
Yes.
But now if I accept that you have your personality, your reasons of doing what you do, I have my personality, reasons of doing what I'm supposed to do, as if it's not, as long as it's not criminal activity, as long as it's not against the law, give me freedom. Take your freedom, and we move together. Yes.
You know what, Daktari, it sometimes becomes so difficult when you have got your chairman and I ask you a question to think that you might contradict yourself.
Yeah.
Later on, you'll be put on the crossroads. You did answer that correctly. You did get the memo. But let me just ask, anytime you are in a church or for a service, for example, and you see the faithful coming to get that spiritual nourishment, and a politician walks in, then takes over the microphone, and at that particular point, the church is always left behind. The only thing you can get is a salutation. Mchungaji, this and that. A minute later, they're all gone.
Yeah.
How is this changing? Because in the past, a few months ago, the church from the Muslim community, all churches across, said no politics in church. Has that changed? If yes, to what extent?
Yeah, I can say that we have greatly changed. These times are not the times that were there before.
Right.
Because you remember, it's like politicians were bosses, to say. It's like they were big people.
Yes.
But we have also come to realize they are our brothers and sisters. And that big syndrome of, I'm the big man here, I'm the one who we walk in and say, we have changed.
But is that the case?
Yes, because I can tell you for a fact, the other day there was some politician that came to a certain church that I know, and they were told, number one, you are here for a service. You come in, just get in.
Chairman, do they even get that?
Yes, I can tell you it happened.
Okay.
Come, do the service with us. Let's finish everything. Then we give you permission, and then you talk there to your people. Because in the past, what they used to do is they come and, it's like they ambush you.
Yes.
I want to come here, I'm going to this and this service, I'm going to this and this service, I want to ask for a vote. Fine. And you know that sometimes they will even come with cash and tell you, I want to support. And then it's like the pastor is confused and so on. Nowadays, it's not happening. I can tell you for a fact, and that has happened. When you come, you have come to worship, realize that these are God's people, these are the people that we serve, and when you come, you have to follow our order. When you follow that order, then I'll take you also as our member. I can tell you for a fact, some people have changed, and it is changing. This is not the politics of some, years back, where we were manipulated and we were not seen as men of God. And as my chairman is saying, this time we have decided to take our stand as servants of God, people of God who know why they have been called. The other day we were saying, a politician is there for only 5 years. Some of us have preached since the era of Moi. And I'm still a pastor.
Yes.
Nobody can remove me from there. The other day we were making a joke, even when you die, you'll be called Pastor so-and-so. But when a politician gets out, you'll be called the late. Although we are also the same, the late, but my title remains
Pastor so and so.
Pastor so and so.
Right.
So when you come, there is that respect, and we have also come to realize that these people, when they come, they are just, people like us. It's only that when they are given much publicity,
yes,
they take over, and they seem to be the people that are, they are taking control over everything. But we have taken our stand. We know we are servants of God. God has called us to do our work. Let the politicians do their work, and we also do our work. And it is changing, my brother, I can tell you.
Okay.
It has typically changed.
Chairman, as a chairman of the National Prayer Committee, it takes time, for example, to organize such kind of events. And you'd imagine each and every time we have got the Waheshimiwas, the invited guests from different jurisdictions to attend such kind of activity. As a nation, we would be glued there watching for 2-3 hours, pledging and praying and promising and making all manner of promises. We make 4 steps ahead, forward, and then later on the political rallies, we make several steps back. Perhaps you imagine that this is taking us back as a country in terms of growth, our spiritual growth and stability. Does this worry you?
Okay, first of all, let me address the question that Reverend has talked about the politicians taking over services.
Yes.
We will say it is two-way. Some places still happening, but some places it's not happening. And we have reduced it. And how did we reduce it? Because also we are doing consultations.
Yes.
And we are trying to encourage one another. The fact that we are trying to work as one team, it is helping us to do some we inspect ourselves, we look at ourselves inside and we say, where do we go wrong? How can we do it? How can we encourage one another? How that kind of a thing. It is helping more and more to overcome those things. And then also, yes, address something very important. We also have come to a place to appreciate who we are. Who we are. We have a number of our churches, we have grown to a place whereby we are able to do our own things.
Yes.
So this kind of intimidation with money, we are getting over it. So we are not getting intimidated with money. And I can tell you that has helped the church to keep on overcoming. So most of the politicians will come to church and they'll be given a space. One thing, we give them space. Remember, these politicians are who? Who are you media people? Who are the politicians? Who are athletes? Who are others? Who are lawyers? All of you are members of our churches. All of you. Whether you are a politician, whether you're a media person, whether you are running for the nation, you are members of our churches. And therefore there's no, so we can say politicians, keep off church. All that we say is, politicians, when you come to church, you shall allow us to handle you the way we want to handle you for the best outcome of the service. So I can give you a lot of time to speak. I can deny you time, depending on what I'm doing that particular day. So those kind of things. Coming back to your question, but let me first of all clarify something. We are not in the prayer committee that runs the government program.
Okay.
I think that one we need to clarify.
Okay, it's good for clarification. We
are in our national prayer committee, which brings churches together to pray for the nation.
All right.
It's a prayer movement that we work, several of us. I'm the chairman. We have a director called Apostle Kemani William. That's John Kemani William from Nakuru, the director of the MPCI. And then ourselves as a team, we organize prayers for the entire nation.
Yes.
And especially the church wing. So we are dealing mostly of the church wing, bringing the church together. So I think it's good to clarify that. Good clarification. But also to address your point that when they normally go to Safari Park and they even shake hands and they even do all those things, and tomorrow they go back to politicking. Basically, one thing we know in this life, like now when they go that day, there are still a few things that God ministers to their hearts. And if you realize it slows down some things, it even slows down some of the things they speak when they go there. But sometimes, of course, politicians are politicians. Not politicians are politicians. Every people are who they are.
Yes.
The media people, you are what you are. We, the preachers, we are what we are. There's what we become. Where to do our work.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll come back to you briefly, Chairman. But Dr. Ireri, whenever you go out there preaching peace, the chairman has said that you've gone through around 47 counties. You meet people from different, races, different tribes, living together, going about their business. Is this exactly what is being translated, to the kind of politicians we have right now? Because when you go for a rally, it's mixed. When you go for voting, a politician would want to divide Kenyans across tribal lines. What do you say about that?
Yeah, basically our people, what we have learned from going round, our people are one. Our people, when they are doing business,
yes,
they are one. When Mama Mboga is selling the mbogas there, I'll go and buy there.
Right.
And if I don't even have money, she can give me credit and tell me, bring tomorrow. Because we coexist. I can say that for a fact, when politics come, that is when we start knowing, he's not our person. He's from this, this other tribe. And we get divided. But then, what we have been telling the people, and that is what I want to insist on, we are one. And one of the message that we have been passing across is that elections is a one-time event. It will come, and it will not, whether my candidate, as Bishop is saying, all of us have our own candidates that we are supporting. But there is no one time, even if you support them, it will not add more. You will not see them coming and telling you that I have brought you ugali.
Yeah.
You go continue with your own problems. And if there are problems that were there, you still have them.
Yes.
And that person may be, in fact, the other day we were talking with one of them, and they were saying that when a politician is in need, that is the time they will call you.
Yes.
Like now there are so many phone calls. I'm coming to your church. I'll go. But then when they are gone, you never see that number again. When they pass, the windows are up. So your problems continue. So what we are saying to the Kenyans, and that is what even the church is preaching, let's maintain our peace. Because when we maintain our peace, you still remain my brother. You still remain my sister. When the problem comes is when, even in the village, we will do them communally. It's a communal thing.
Yes.
The water pipe is burst. We go there and repair it because it's for our own good.
Okay.
And so let's Kenya coexist in peace and even teach. It's very important to teach our politicians.
Your mic is off. It will be corrected pretty soon. All right. Chairman, I'm told that you have got a peace caravan coming up this weekend, if I get it right.
So we did the prayer, the peace prayer caravan.
Yes.
In the month of May, whereby we traversed by road 43 counties by road daily from 9th of May to 26th of May. We traveled from Nairobi and went down through eastern, we started in Nairobi, Kajiado, and then we went to Machakos and Makueni, then we entered Coast. Then we did the whole of Coast, then we came through Garissa and all that. We went the 43 counties, driving every day, doing 3 hours meeting in every county. And one of the things we were doing, we were praying for peace in this nation, speaking to people to keep peace. Then also we are praying for good leadership, God to give us good leadership. We are praying also for the nation of Kenya to prosper.
Yes.
To go to the next level, to go even to the second world. Then also we are praying for a mighty revival, the move of God in the country. Basically we were praying for that. We spoke to people, 43 counties. Then the remaining 4, that is Turkana, Marsabit, Wajir, and Madera, we sent groups by air. Of course, Mandera and Wajir, they have they have normal flights. So the other 2 is chartered aircraft.
Yes.
And we sent teams there to go and pray. Then on 28th of May, we had a prayer rally at Caravan Stadium.
Yes.
So we spoke to every Kenyan, or not to every Kenyan, to the Kenyans we met in every county, why we should be one people, why we should even pray for peace, why even we should encourage peace and love one another. Then this week, starting Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we shall be at Caravan Stadium in the gymnasium, praying every hour from 9 to 6. So 3 days we shall be praying and fasting.
That's 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Right.
Praying and fasting for 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is 28, 28, 29, 30th. And then we shall be there the whole day praying. We have mobilized people from all over to come and we pray together. The 28th one of May, we were about 30,000 people.
That is huge.
We were about 30,000 people praying from 47 counties.
Yes.
We ensured we had 47 counties there because we had already gone around them.
Right.
So we weren't telling them to follow us.
Yes.
Then on, I would say now I'm back here. So 28, 29, 30, we shall be in Caravan at the gymnasium. Then on the 31st, which is a Sunday, at 2, people will leave their churches, and we all converge at the main stadium up to 6. We do the final prayers. There's a process we have done from February. From February, we've been having prayer sessions throughout. Last month we did, that is June, we did Nakuru for 4 days. Mid this month, we did Eldoret for 3 days. Now we are coming to culminate, from February, we are coming to culminate on this weekend, this week, praying, talking to Kenyans. We shall be live in several of our media houses. We've been live, and we are telling Kenyans it's time to maintain peace. It's time. These leaders, our leaders, and there are a few things, if I may add, there are few things that have changed. Since the new constitution came, just before the new constitution, during the reign of Mwai Kibaki, the late president, one thing that happened was there was this devolution of funds through CDF. Then we had now the new constitution that devolved them more officially in the constitution through the county governments. Before, it was leader take it all. We shall develop Kakamega depending on what the president wants.
Yes.
We shall develop Machakos depending on what the president wants. These days it's written, give Kakamega this much, give Machakos this much.
Yes.
So there are things also which have changed the dynamics of leadership. Though still the president has a lot of power and has a lot of things he says, but at least when we could fight over, nothing happens in our place. Today there is that devolvement of funds, and it has helped so much in easing some of the tensions, because we are able to see our own tarmac.
Right.
We have our Wambora there to fight, our Gamanti there to fight, our whatever. So eventually it has eased a lot of things in the nation also. We have to appreciate that kind of a thing, because funds have been devolved to a good extent, even though still the president has a lot of power.
Okay. Wow. That's huge. Daktari, we have got a 3-day marathon prayer session at Caravan. This must be a huge event. I'll be there. I promise I'll be there.
Karibu.
You can imagine the kind of development that we've had as a nation. Please give me, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we as a nation? Have we grown morally, spiritually, intellectually? Have we learned from our past?
Yes, I can say yes. I can give it 6 out of 10. And the reason why I'm doing that, in the past elections, or even 7, let me say 7.
Yes.
In the past, when we were doing, I remember the last time we did the prayer caravan, the media people were here, the BBC, because we were known as people that would fight. But I can tell you, when we went and prayed and did all that we were supposed to do, walikunja virago vyao pole pole, they went back. So that idea of people praying and having peace has contributed. We may not see the 100% that we wanted, but at least I know when I'm taking a stone to throw to my brother, I'm hurting my brother. It's like Bishop was saying, if I destroy this building, our would be okay. When I came here, I was happy. I was saying, this is our heritage. I'm proud of it. But when I destroy it, I will not see it again.
Yes.
So our people are slowly learning. And even if you see, and I can bet you, go outside there, you see that people nowadays, they are not running after, those things that we used to run for. What do I mean? You find that people are, it's like their whole life is in the election.
Yes.
Our whole, being is in that thing. It's like there is no tomorrow.
Right.
But people have learned now. Slowly, they know that I'll do my campaign, but in the evening I'll be in my house.
Right.
That is why people are changing. So I can say we have typically changed it, and if we are not yet full there, I'm told there are some nations, elections will be done, and you not know there is an election.
Absolutely.
We have
do it online.
Do it online. But here is like it's like it is the time now. But there are some nations I'm praying, and we are going there very soon. And I can tell you with this one, when we were in Kisii, for example, and we were in town going round, the guys came, when Peter too, people are just watching, Jinyi Pitendi, then we do our own things.
Yeah.
Even in our place, people are just doing their campaign, people are passing, with an exception of those people maybe who are, I understand there are some people who are, I don't know, I don't have the proof of that they are they are transported there to go and do some chaos and that. But look at the Kenyans today. You can see that people are doing their own business,
which is a good thing.
It's changing. Yes. And so much to Christians. As my chairman is saying, we have addressed the people. In the past, we were divided. But now we have gone around speaking in pastors' meeting, telling them, look, you may support your candidate, I may support my candidate, but we are together. We are the people to show the way.
Absolutely.
And that one has eased the tension. So I can say we have improved. The nation has improved. And we are hoping for better results in the days to come.
Even as media, anytime our colleagues go out there to cover stories, it's quite peaceful. There is no tension in the country, and I think that is the only way to go. Chairman, allow me to give you 1 minute as the chairman to give you a final word, what we should expect coming forward in the next 14 days to come. Are you going to stop on the 31st, or will you continue with the same program even during and after the elections? 1 minute.
Let me say one thing, the power of prayer. The power of prayer. We have seen it. Some of these firings come from people because of spiritual. Okay, there's a lot of spiritualism that goes on with election. There are people who go to witchcraft. There are people who get those spirits. And so there's a lot of spirits that are released in the air. Now, that's where the power of prayer comes.
Yes.
As we pray, we nullify that power. And when you do witchcraft, always the devil will ask for blood. He needs to be paid back with blood. And that's why we fight, trying to pay some blood sometimes. That's part of the causes. Among the other causes, we miss to deal with the causes of these violences. But one of them is spiritual. There are demons that are released all over. And so when we pray, we nullify the power of those spirits. And so the air becomes clean. And that's why we are to do that great sacrifice of making a prayer in 47 counties. 43 were 70 people driving, 70 every day, 3 hours. We were making sure that the spiritual atmosphere is godly atmosphere. And God, Jesus is a Prince of Peace. So the more we release the presence of God in the air, the more there's peace in the land. And we are trusting God. Now, after we finish our prayers on Sunday, we are not finishing prayers there. That is now the finishing of the corporate prayers as a nation. So the next few days, many churches, including where I pastor, we have declared days of prayer and fasting up to election day.
Yes.
And so many churches now will go back to concentrate on prayer. As we continue also to speak to people all over the country, to speak to people, remember we are one nation.
Absolutely.
One people.
Whenever the Bible says that pray without ceasing, we should continue. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I've been speaking to Bishop Jesse Ireri James, who is the presiding Bishop of Gospel Revival Wave Church and Chairman National Prayer Committee, as well as Dr. Let me get it right. There you go. Reverend Dr. Josphat Ngumba, who is a pastor of Omega Pentecostal Church, Kasarani, and an overseer of Nairobi region. He is also a member of the National Prayer Committee. But before you go, we have got an amazing topic coming up. And as religious leaders, let me start with you, Dr. Is marriage a scam? Anytime you're talking to family matters out there in the church, the family teachings, is marriage a scam?
What, sorry?
Marriage.
Yeah.
Is it a scam?
Oh, well, we cannot say it's so calm, but we are trying to make it calm in the Word of God.
A scam, is it something, an illusion people are not taking seriously?
Yeah, today marriage has been turned to be something else apart from what we know from the Bible.
Right.
Because as we talk about marriage, you know, God is the beginner of families.
Yes.
And there is a way he had set it to be.
Okay.
But nowadays it has been turned to be something else.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been turned to be something else because...
My colleague Jen has got that indeed. I just want to get your... Bishop, I know you've been married for quite so many years. Is it a scam? Does it work?
As I do marriage, first of all, allow me to just welcome every Kenyan for the prayers.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, I will welcome every Kenyan for prayers.
Yes.
Those days we have said 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st at Caravan Stadium.
Yes.
Marriage. Marriage, I would say generally it is calm.
It's calm.
Yes. Why? Because divorce has not yet grown so much in Kenya.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of there's a lot of things that are trying to affect it.
Okay.
But still we have not gone far down. I would say
you know what? That is the discussion that my colleague Jen Wamboy is discussing after this. Is it as calm or is marriage calm? Jen Wamboy with that up next. Wow, I can't wait to watch that. Let's take a break, we'll be right back.